I am struggling with you guys today. Holy smokes, we're struggling. You guys just need to stay in here. You just need to stay in here. You gotta stop falling off. Welcome back to the good old Southern IA. We have a trailer load of equipment here. Today we are going to be back using the TeleClipper along with the Grapple to work on another fence line. This whole little project right here, that's going to be coming up in the next video, so stick around for it. Before we jump too far into this video, I want to give a thank you to Precision Manufacturing. They're the folks that are bringing this demo to you guys, so thank you. For you that do not know what the TeleClipper is, well, this is the TeleClipper. It is a tree shear, but it's not your everyday ordinary tree shear. TeleClipper tree shear has the ability to rotate its head 90 degrees each way, while also telescoping the boom out to reach higher limbs. You'll see all that here in a bit. And on this particular model, it actually has the remote control junction box, which is right down here. Here's where I put the remote, right on the joystick. You can just hold the extend and the rotate. The default function when you hit the auxiliaries here is to actually close and open the jaws. This takes a little while to get used to, but I mean, within an hour or so, you're going to be pretty proficient at it, and you can really get to clipping some trees. And bear with me here today. The Old Glory over there is telling me that the winds are ripping, so if there's any wind noise, I sincerely apologize for it. But what do you guys say we go get to work? Okay, so here is the fence line that we're going to be working on today. We are not removing this fence line. We're just going to be cleaning up the limb. On the last TeleClipper video, there were a few comments about taking out fence lines and the destruction of wildlife habitat. With these fence lines around in our particular area, now I can't speak for every area of the United States, we have a lot of habitat. I mean, this field particularly has CRP on two sides, an orchard growing on the other side, and then a hay field, and of course the crop field that we grow in. This year, or every year, I would say that the deer probably eat about $2,000 worth of crops out of this field in particular. So trimming up these fence lines, or even taking out some fence lines in our area, isn't a big detriment to the wildlife habitat. And I can state that because simply the way that our actually landscape lays. I mean, right there's a huge grove for them. I mean, that's probably a 7 or 8 acre grove, and there's the CRP field. And besides, for our area, it actually probably better to thin out some of the deer numbers because we've got chronic waste disease going on, things like that. The herd's getting a little thick around here. Speaking of deer, there's one of the paths. But here's where we're targeting. You can see these tree limbs keep growing out, farther and further. So the crop has to keep getting pushed out. Sounds like I'm trying to sing a song. But we're just gonna try and tidy this up. I don't know if we'll move the crop line in a little bit. We could if we wanted to, but this will just keep things safer for our equipment. The other comment that I got, and I guess I'd never really thought of this actually, is where you pile your brush. Now the brush is actually good habitat for the wildlife as well. Pheasants, small animals, deer, things like laying around that brush. It works as a good windbreak. It's a nice place for them. In the last video, I was placing the brush in a wash. No, not a waterway, an actual wash, like a big ravine where water had been coming down fast and ripping out and eroding the land away. I put the brush in the ravine to, in theory, slow down the water and slow down the erosion. Someone pointed out that, hey, if you put brush actually on top of a waterway or something like that along those lines, you'll kill the grass, destroy the root structure, and you'll actually cause more erosion. Let me know what your guys' thoughts on that is down in the comment section below, and actually where you would pile your brush. For us, we're gonna be going up into a corner of the field here. But one thing to keep in mind when you make the comments down in the comment section is that conservation looks different in different parts of the world. So one thing that works in your neck of the woods won't work in mine. All right, time to go grab the grapple. So again, for those of you that have missed it last time, this is the brush grapple here. It's 84 inches wide. These arms here, they close independently. One closes on then the other one closes. So it can apply equal pressure across an uneven load. Works really darn good. It opens up to about 6 foot if you can stand in there, and you can grab some really massive loads with this thing and move it. It works extremely well on a skid steer, and I guess I haven't really mentioned it, but for those of you who do watch the channel, you do know that we are using a Kubota SVL 90 skid steer. Okay, there's the tree from the beginning. You can see how much it's cleaned up. When I get the clipper back on, I think I can take off this piece right here. This is hedge tree, really hard tree around us. This is actually what people use to use posts. I mean, it is one of the harder trees that we actually have in this area. But you can definitely tell there's where the tree fence line is, and all the way over there, actually about where the skid steer is sitting, is where the crop field was. You can tell how much that was actually taking up. We're gonna be headed down the fence line here with the grapple. We're gonna clean this up some more, and then we'll get the TeleClipper back on. ran you guys over again. I gotta quit that. And people ask me, what do I think about my Kubota skid steer? It's kind of cute. But I mean, look at this, folks. Come on. If you're a farmer, you know. You know when you know. You know what I know? Is that you know what you know. Where the crop field was, all the parts that were covered up by the trees, that's 30 feet maybe. Nah, not 30 feet, 20 feet. Solid 20 feet. Well, my fuel me up or you're walking idiot light came on, so that means that we're kind of done for the day, which is okay because I started at around 9:30 this morning and it's right about 5 o'clock, so it's a shy work day here, which is good because that means that I can actually kind of showcase what you can get done in a day. Now, fill in the blank on how good of an operator I am of a skid steer, you're gonna have to make your judgment call yourself, but it was just me working today, and I did take a lunch break, and I actually had a friend stop out and check out the TeleClipper himself. So let's take a look at what you can actually get done in a day. And then, of course, I am actually YouTubing, and that takes a little time to set up the shots. So I started out by clearing out all the little cedar trees that were right here to make a brush pile. We got a smaller brush pile here for the trees that were on this side. There's the first tree we clipped on today. They are just mangled trees, those hedge trees. They're difficult to cut on. I mean, if you had straighter trees, I think you could do a lot more in a day, but a tree like that actually takes a little bit of time to cut on. And then right here in the middle of the truck, it was the edge of the field, so you can see how much distance in between the fence line and the field again that we were using up. Don't look at that one, I forgot to come back for it. I'll do that tomorrow. Along with chainsaw that sucker. Yeah, that brush pile got a little bit bigger than I thought it was going to. Still driving down the edge of the field, you can see how much difference. Still driving down the edge of the field, you can see the distance. But man, that looks so much better. It's going to be so much nicer farming along the edge of that. Not gonna have to worry about hitting the sprayer booms on the tree limbs, busting out. Not gonna have to worry about tree limbs going down in the crop, them ending up in like the bean or the corn head. On top of it, it should help the little red halo that hangs out all the way around the fields. We should be able to improve that a little bit so that I don't hit a big old washout and bust my truck up. We'll stop here to close out the video. If you guys happen to be interested in any of these products, all of the contact information is in the description for Precision Manufacturing. Let them know I sent you, and we'll see you the next time down here in the Southern IA. I go and pick you up from Wayne's, and you know you just get a heck of food. Now you get a heck of food. Oh. Oh, getting some attitude, huh? Got some attitude with you today, huh? You get some attitude? But look at this dog.